How's it going, everybody, and welcome back to episode 6 of Bay 13. Let's go ahead and jump into things and answer our first listener question. This listener asks, should I buy an older car or save up a few more years to buy a nicer and newer car? While I can't answer this for you, I can give you reasons why you should or should not buy an older car. Episode 6 will review beater cars, what you can do with them, and how you can upgrade them. If any of you guys have any questions you would like answered, go ahead and shoot us a quick email at bay13.wn@gmail.com. And with that being said, let's move on to beater cars. Buying a beater car is always a tricky situation. You have probably thought about buying a car that you could just trash and have fun in, and here's a few reasons why you should and should not buy a beater car. A few reasons why you should is that they are cheaper than nicer and newer cars. Insurance is surprisingly cheap. You don't have to worry about cosmetic damage. You also don't have to buy name brand car parts. You really just have to take the if it fits, it ships approach when fixing it. This both saves time and money. Beater cars are usually older and easier to work on than their newer counterparts, and you don't have to baby them on cold starts or feel bad about romping through the city. A couple reasons why you shouldn't is that they are sometimes unreliable. This can really suck in the colder, rainy winter seasons. They don't always look the best, and sometimes things break. But if they do break, just hit whatever is broken until it either works again or you feel better. If you do end up buying a beater car for any reason I listed above or any other, you might be looking for ways to have fun with your new beater. In this next topic, I'll be covering the Gambler 500. If you don't know what the Gambler 500 is, the Gambler 500 Rally is a mostly off-road rally-style navigational adventure using cheap, impractical, or fun vehicles. The Gambler 500 began in Oregon, which I am native to, which is now known as the OG 500. This event has since spread across the United States and Canada. If you want to participate, you must be 21 years of age or older, have a registered and insured roadworthy vehicle, pay your camping fees, and bring your own food and water for your own team. The best part is, if you don't want to race, you can bring your own built four-wheel drive vehicle to aid in extraction of broken down vehicles. If you want to take this road instead of racing, you will need to bring with you a radio, a first aid kit, a fire extinguisher. While I have not yet participated in the Gambler 500, it is definitely something I'm looking forward to doing in the years to come. A couple rules for the Gambler 500 is there is no cost to enter the Gambler 500. Rally vehicles should be purchased for $500 or less. After the purchase, the amount that you spend on your vehicle is up to you. Nobody is going to verify that your vehicle is $500. We're using the honor system. However, if you have a nice, legitimately reasonable, and capable vehicle, you'll be made fun of since that is not gambling. Post your team info on the social regional forum so we can keep track of how many people will be showing up. Obey all laws and be overly courteous to people and gamblers and the public. One of the biggest things is that this is not a race, it is a navigational rally. You'll be given the general area of the rally in advance so you can all meet up and, hang out for a little while. A list of GPS waypoints will be given to you the day of the rally at the starting line, so everyone will be on a level playing field and will need to start putting the waypoints into their GPS once the time has been started. The course will be 250 to 300 miles the first day and 200 to 250 miles the second day. There are, of course, a few more rules and clarification for all the rules I listed above. There will be a link where you can find these rules in the links section of the Bay 13 Podium page. Maybe off-roading isn't really your thing or you don't like to rally. We'll now be talking about tasteful versus obnoxious upgrades. We have all heard those cars that run around the city making a ruckus. You might be one of them. These cars typically have obnoxiously loud exhaust systems, and they're usually slower vehicles. But they're not always slow, and sometimes they don't even sound that bad, or at least don't sound as bad as others. Let's review some tasteful modifications and compare them to their obnoxious counterparts, and we'll let you decide which ones you like best. The first modification most people start with is an exhaust system. So let's go ahead and start with a ricer exhaust. These are usually higher pitch and not as pleasing to most people's ears. Now that our ears are dripping with blood, let's move on to tuners and bandage our ears and restore our faith in the car community. Much better, right? I think so. So after you've got your new exhaust system, you might be thinking, what next? Because there is never an end to your upgrades. I love spoilers as much as the next guy, but sometimes these upgrades can get out of control. Ricer wings can be as tall as 28 inches tall and more than 50 inches wide.
Holy freaking Ricer wing. Wow.
While tuner wings are usually just big enough to give you maximum performance, at about 6 to 9 inches tall and just a little narrower than the car itself. People that don't know what a spoiler does and just likes the look of it oftentimes misplace the spoiler completely.
This kid has to be the biggest retard I've ever seen. That spoiler actually will slow his car down. Furthermore, why would you have a spoiler on the rear of a car that's front-wheel drive? You're keeping the rear wheels down, but the front wheels come off the ground.
So now that you have an exhaust and you've gotten your aerodynamics on point, you may be thinking it's time to go a little faster and actually use aerodynamics to your advantage. I know I'm not alone when I say I would love to get a turbocharger. With a turbo, you have a turbine connected to your exhaust system, which then spins a compressor, which forces air into the intake and then into the combustion chamber. A turbo is a more popular choice due to the fact that they are usually cheaper and easier to install, and they give you that iconic turbo flutter that you hear in most car shows. If that turbo flutter really isn't your style, or you just don't like the sound of it for whatever reason, a supercharger may be the one for you. A supercharger is connected to your crankshaft by a belt, and then spins a turbine which forces air into your intake and then combustion chamber. Superchargers have pretty much no lag and can provide greater power depending on the vehicle, whereas turbochargers have a little bit of lag, known as turbo lag. The only downside is superchargers do not flutter. I don't know about all you out there, but after a long day of driving, or rallying, or working in the shop, I'm usually ready to sit down and watch a movie. If you're not quite sure what to watch, go ahead and listen to KinoCast, a podcast all about films new and old.
If you love film, be sure to tune in to KinoCast every week and join me, Bill Malloy, for your Friday movie fix. With new episodes every week, KinoCast is the place to be for all the latest film news, reviews and interviews. Make sure you also check us out on social media via Facebook and Twitter at Kino_press, as well as iTunes, Spotify and Podbean. All episodes of KinoCast are available via our website, kino-press.com, where you'll also find heaps of other content too, including regular quizzes to put your film knowledge to the test. KinoCast, for your Friday movie fix.
As always, don't forget to follow us at facebook.com/bay13.wn and email us at bay13.wn@gmail.com with any questions or stories that you guys may have. If you don't feel like emailing us, you can always tweet us at bay13podcast. And with that, that's going to wrap up this episode. Now that you guys have great ideas running around your head on what kind of beater cars you can buy, and now that you've picked a movie to watch, you can all sit down and relax and enjoy the rest of your week.